Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is where you're at. Hello. I hope you guys are having a good day. I am back with the recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 8, Episode 5. This season as a whole so far has been a snooze fest. It's been very boring, and honestly, I think the show has run its course, and I think it's time to move on. At the same time, I'm trying to be patient. Okay, y'all got a couple more episodes for me to decide whether or not to throw in the towel. Okay, I'll give y'all maybe 5 more episodes. And then I'll decide, like I said, whether or not to throw in the towel. Okay, but right now it's given. I'm just tired and fed up. The show, I'm starting to think that it is scripted. According to Martell, y'all all are paid actors, and I'm starting to feel that way. All right, so the scene continues with Moses and Destiny, and people seem to be confused as to why she's there. Well, the beginning of the conversation with Moses on the last episode, she asked him, "Why is it you want to meet with me now?" So she's there because Moses asked to meet with her. And at the end of the day, she has a job to do. Okay. So Moses, he told Destiny that, he's still upset because she never came to see him. Now, she said for 8 months total, she was on a plane to see him every other weekend, and it wasn't reciprocated. So despite her consistent efforts, he still brings up the fact that she did not come see him on his birthday. Yet, during those 8 months, she traveled to see him regularly, okay? So he said that she had time for everything and everyone else except him. Destiny had to remind him that she is a single mom and she's trying to support herself and her child. She's trying to keep a roof over their head and food on the table. So she got to do what she got to do. And seeing you at the time was not a priority. And as a man, I would think you would understand that. But he also said that Destiny had some baggage, and yes, she did. So she tells him how else she was going to pay her bills because he wasn't paying them. Now, they both acknowledge that at one point Moses did help her pay bills, but he had to stop. Destiny girl, you should be responsible for your own bills. Now, it's fine if he wants to be generous and help, but relying solely on him to support your financial burden is a no-no. Okay, independence is always just crucial. If you're going to be anything, always be independent. You cannot depend on a man for anything. Like, your man should always be the excess, not your financial source. You should be your own source. But as for Moses, Destiny felt that he stopped being the man that she needed. In other words, he stopped being her financial support. He stopped being her bank that she could deplete. So it sounds like that's all she cared about was him supporting her. Now, Destiny thinks that Moses moved on with Sunni to get back at her. And I do believe it. And I also believe that he wanted a woman that was more financially independent and also a woman unburdened by emotional baggage like Destiny had. So Moses says that at the time, Destiny was going through a divorce. She was not emotionally stable. And that could be a lot on a man when he really ain't got it like that, when he's really not emotionally available and he's not in that place financially like Destiny wanted him to be. It sounds like Destiny wanted him to pay the rent, pay the electric bill, gas, car note, insurance. It's like she wanted this man to take care of her. And I don't really think it's fair. I think it's fair for him to help out. Because if a man is laying with you, I think that it's fair to ask him to help pay for some things that need to be paid. But for him to solely take care of you, Destiny, I think that's a tad bit selfish. But according to Destiny, Moses found someone in his weight class, someone willing to tolerate less than the bare minimum, a man, in her words, that's fine and broken. Now, she ends the conversation by telling Moses that he wanted to be her girlfriend. He wanted flowers. He wanted fancy dates. And Sunni seemed like the perfect person to fulfill his desires. So in the conversation, Destiny also said that she is the one that decided to pull away from Moses when he started to not show up for her. And I'm assuming she means when he decided not to support her financially anymore, and that the fact that she was coming to see him for 8 months every weekend and he didn't do the same in return. Now, I don't think she want Moses back. I think it's a matter of principle. She feels hurt that he moved on with a woman she once considered her friend. So I don't think she want him back, but I do think that she has some shit that she needed to get off her chest. And I think she is quite happy that she did. And I think that that burden is now lifted from her shoulder because she was holding in a lot. She finally let it out. In the next scene, Tisha meets up with Tricia at the gym, of course. Tisha is trying to get her body snatched, so she would like for Tricia to be her trainer. So they discuss how Tricia knows Martell and his brother. The scene was extra boring. We did learn that Tricia is not divorced, but insists that it's in the works. So Ken is the side dude. So we also learned that she may be related to Nell Fletcher, and she says that Nell is, her mom folks, and that Nell is from the older generation of her mom's side of the family. Now, Tisha co-signs and said that Nell is, in fact, from the old generation. She wants to know if Nell is 60. So here we go, age shaming again. That it's disgusting. Don't make me call Kiki, Tisha. So moving on to the next scene, because this scene was kind of cringe. It was forced. Like, I don't like how Tisha age shame Nell. Like, really? Let me find out Letitia is starting to be a mean girl. So in the next scene, Mel enjoys a girls' night out or girls' night in with her friends. The conversation revolves around Mel returning to the dating scene. So they suggest that Mel lower her expectations because she's too picky. Now, Mel received a picture from one of her friends of a man that she wasn't interested in, primarily because of the pants he wore. Now, this raises an interesting question. Is a man's clothing really a deal breaker if he doesn't have that swag like Martell has or the swag that Mel like? Is that a deal breaker? Because I believe that his clothing can be worked on. He may be a good partner, except that, he ain't got the swag that she wants. But I feel like that can be worked on. However, Mel insisted that she is not picky, but perhaps she's just not quite ready to date. Instead, she says she finds herself scrutinizing potential prospects. And she said it's not about being picky, but rather it's like a defense mechanism because she emotionally isn't ready for dating. She said she's still on her healing journey. She says she isn't in a hurry. Instead, she's taking her time to heal. And I commend her for that because unlike some women who rush into another relationship immediately after divorce, Mel is prioritizing her well-being and that of her kids. And I commend her for that. Not to mention, we don't know what Martell is capable of doing because the last time she was on a date, Martell showed up with his phone recording her. So I really do agree with her decision to not rush into a relationship, especially we don't know what Martell is capable of doing. And to some men, Martell could be that baggage for Melody because he's always up to something. Hell, he might even start stalking her date for all we know. I mean, why else would she install top-notch security cameras on her property? Because Martell cannot be trusted. Moving on, in the next scene, we have Stormi and Tricia. They are catching up, and she also invites Martell over. Now, in the beginning, I was a little confused about why there were rose petals on the floor. The scene just left me so confused. Why are you inviting Martell over with rose petals on the floor? So Martell comes in and he introduces himself to Tricia as if he didn't know her, and she's upset about it. Why, I don't know. So Martell finally remembers her and says that she looks different from the last time he saw her. And neither of them want to reveal when was the last time they saw each other. Sounds like they both have something to hide. Perhaps the last time she saw Martell, he was married and she was a side chick. I don't know, but it's a little fishy because neither of them want to share when is the fact they actually saw each other. So Stormi tells Martell that she's throwing a lovers and friends gala. It's going to be a very sensual event where she would like to use topless male models. And she would like Martell. And she would also like Latricia as a model as well. Now, I wonder if she's going to be inviting Melody, being as though Martell would be there. And he'll be one of the models. And I don't think Mel wants to film with him. So that would be interesting to see how that works out. Maybe she won't invite Mel. I don't know. So Martell says that he'll do it, but his body is not in the best of shape. But he said that he'll get that under control by working out. So Stormi suggests that Latricia trains Martell. But she says she don't train men, but she'll do it for her. Girl, bye. How about you just ask your husband, your side dude, your boyfriend, Ken, have him train Martell. Because if you don't train men, why make an exception now? Keep it cute. Ask Ken to train him. Okay? Because the way you talking, it sounds like you may in fact want to train Martell. Because she didn't have to twist your arm for you to say yeah. As a matter of fact, you didn't even give it a second thought. Hey, can you train Martell? I don't normally train men, but I'll make an exception and do it for you. Girl, please. Girl, please. So in the next scene, Sunni and Moses, they have an awkward sit down. Moses is trying to tell Sunni that he went to go meet up with Destiny. And before he can even sit down good, Sunni wants to know, how was she dressed? Did she have on lipstick? Was she wearing a dress? Was she wearing heels? Was she pretty? Sunni sounds like she is insecure, and rightly so. Being as how he moved with Destiny. Don't be surprised if y'all ever get on bad terms and he runs back to Destiny trying to spin the block. So obviously, I think she does have a reason to be insecure. Look how he did Destiny. So he tells Sunni that, yes, he met up with Destiny and things got a little heated because she felt as though they stabbed her in the back. So Sunni still stands on the fact that she and Destiny were not friends and insists that the word friend is overused. So she's still trying to justify going behind her friend's back and dating her ex. So Sunni is saying to Moses that Destiny was no more than a side chick. She wasn't the main chick. She was being humped on, flew it out for the weekend, put in a motel for those 2 days, and then sent back home with nothing. And Moses is in the background. He's co-signing that. He's nodding his head in total agreement. But what Sunni don't realize is the way that you're talking about the situation between him and Destiny makes him look bad. It makes him look bad. It makes him it really diminishes his character. You're making this man sounds like that he's nothing more than a ladies' man and he can't be taken seriously. And he's in total agreement by nodding his head and saying, So then Moses told her that he forgot to wear his wedding ring when he went to meet up with Destiny. So Sunni tells him that, okay, well, it could have been perceived that y'all was on a whole date. So she asks him, well, was you on a date with your ex-girlfriend? So finally, Sunni acknowledges that Destiny was in fact Moses' girlfriend, not just some side chick. In the scene, Sunni came off very immature, very insecure and jealous, and she should. Look how she got her man. You got your man by being conniving and sneaky, and don't be surprised when you lose your man the same way. But anyway, so Moses tell her that, listen, I know I had my ring off, but it will never happen again. This ring is staying on. And he said, because I love you. And she says to him, well, I know you love me because you choose me out of all the other women you've been with. Girl, there is no honor being picked amongst a multitude of women, okay, that he was with. Because I feel like he picked her out of convenience and opportunity. And because it's a come up, him dating the successful producer, I'm sure she's making some coin. It's a come up for him. Not to mention that I think she's even produced and starred in some really good Tubi movies. Listen, y'all, I know Tubi has a bad reputation, but child, I'm telling you, some of those movies on Tubi is a hit, okay? And also, let me add this. I feel as though Sunni knows what she did to Destiny is wrong, because every time someone asks, okay, were you guys friends? She always feel the need to over explain. Girl, let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. No need to over explain, because when you feel the need to over explain, that means you're lying, period. Moving on to the next scene, Latricia and her side dude, Ken, they're discussing their future together because he's ready to take the relationship to the next level. But the gag is she is still married, but legally separated, I guess. And that scares him because neither of them seem to be pushing for this divorce. So in the back of his mind, it feels as though they both don't really want to get a divorce. I think she doesn't want to jump into another marriage. I think she wants time to heal, but it looks like he's ready to quickly marry her, and I don't think she's ready. She don't seem to be ready. And she then tells him about the interaction that she had with Martell as if he pretended to not know her. So the husband, Ken, said, well, he acted as if you was one of his old creeps. Well, she was, right? She was his old creep. Did they not date while he was in college? Did he not smash? In one of these scenes, I know, in one of these past episodes, I could have sworn that she acknowledged that her and Martell had a fling while in college. I could have sworn I seen that. And did she lie to Ken and say no, that she wasn't one of his creeps when she really was? All right, y'all, that is the end of this very dry, boring, forced, awkward episode. If y'all made it this far, thank you. Please give the video a thumbs up and also leave your thoughts in the comments. Okay, I want to know what you guys thought of the episode. Is it boring? Is it giving snooze fest? I'm going to give them another chance. I'm giving them a couple more episodes. And if they don't pick up the pace, I'm bouncing. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all on the next video. Bye. I may actually be on camera the next time I do a video. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.